What is going on, YouTube? Pass the prop back here yet again. We got MLB all day, Wednesday slates. Obviously, we love these. We got to do it early for you guys today because we got, I think probably like 6 or 7 before even the 2 o'clock slate. So we got to make sure we get these out early and often for you. Joined as always by my guy, Stu. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Like you said, obviously all day baseball, pretty big slate. And normally they spread it out a little bit more. But like you said today, they're like really early. And a bunch of them are really early as well. So, if people got any questions, anything like that, we wanted to pop on here a little bit earlier so we could talk about it. And then obviously give you guys, especially the West Coast homies, a couple hours to catch up because it's like 6 a.m. right now in California. So, got a little bit of time here before the game starts. Excited to dive into the slate.
Yeah, this is actually, I was telling Stu this beforehand. We're going to try out doing it on Twitter and YouTube today. So if you guys have any questions, I believe you have to pop over to YouTube. I'm not sure if we're going to see it here on the StreamYard spot. So just a heads up, if you do want to, just obviously hit the link that's in the in the video there, but just make sure you pop over there. If you do have questions, obviously we'll break through a lot of these. And excited to get after it today. I'm just going to put that in the chat right now, just so you guys can drop it in there. But Stu, we got some people coming in from Twitter. It says we got 40-something people in here. We appreciate you guys jumping in early and often on your Wednesday morning. Let's get through this quick recap, and then we'll just start talking about today's slate, and we'll get this thing going for today. I can start it off here. Toronto Blue Jays. There ain't nothing else you got to say about these guys, man. I told you this is my second favorite team at this point. They play at 2 o'clock today. Probably already know where we're going. I'm going back to them again. So just an epic performance, man. I texted you immediately when Addison Barger K'd in the first inning, and I'm like, bro, are we really going to do this? Are we really going to do this? And Barger comes up later in the game, ends up with like 3 hits. Bichette hits 2 nukes. Vlad has 2 hits. Kirk has 2 hits. Varsho, my guy, I have a lot of Varsho cards because he's from the area. So I have a lot of stuff from him. He goes yard. He went yard twice again yesterday. Just a crazy performance from the Blue Jays out in Colorado. Kind of what you expected a team like this to do against this lowly Rockies team.
Yeah, like you said, took care of business. He only made it with 3 or so innings right there. They crushed him, and yeah, it was nice. It's nice to have a sweat-free. I know, obviously, had an early K, but even then, with the quick falling apart right there, you didn't really have to sweat too much for a freaking 2.5 strikeout prop, which feels pretty nice.
Yeah, it was. Sometimes they go your way, right? And it feels like those Blue Jays are just fighting for your money here. I was baffled that this one didn't hit, to be honest, bro.
Yeah. Briefly before the show, you talked about not being able to watch games. Normally I'm not watching random West Coast games late at night. Unfortunately, I watched this full fucking game.
Oh, wow.
Perdomo, for the first 3 at-bats, had 2 runners on base in every single at-bat. I mean, truly crazy. Like, he had so many runners in scoring position and just could not get anything done. And then, of course, his final at-bat of the day in like the 7th or 8th, he comes in and hits a nice little bloop single, did not get the job done. Obviously, no one was on base that time. So very unfortunate. Like you said, the whole, first 6 guys in the order went over, and Perdomo was just sitting there and couldn't get anything done from the 3-hole. So it was a bummer. Kind of wish I did not watch it just so I didn't have to see all of that and have to sweat out every at-bat for him to not do shit. But yeah, I felt good about this one. Just a bummer it did not, get the job done there.
Yeah. That game was just weird, man. It was it did not go as I planned it to either. But hey, shout out Kettle Marte continuing to just put up numbers even though he gets hurt. Then he comes back and he's just in and out of the line, but dude just keeps raking. So, it was good. Obviously, I had a bet against your team yesterday as well. I played Severino out, and of course, they make it a little bit interesting at the end because Severino just can't ever just let me have anything sweat-free. My God, dude, 16.5 outs. Dude gets 17 and loads the bases, nobody out. I'm like, are you really going to get pulled? You're up 10-0, bro. Like, what are we doing? And it was not as sweat free as I would have liked it to be. But yeah, the Gore is kind of falling apart now, which is I kind of mentioned this like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, dude, this dude's throwing a hell of a lot of fucking innings, dude. So many pitches on that arm. You can start to see his velo kind of ticking down. You start to see a lot of these pitchers, velos ticking down around this time of the year. You know, if they're like first or second year guys, they might not have thrown anywhere close to this amount of innings or this amount of pitches. So there's a heads up too, which is why I feel like a lot of our success has been unders this year. I've played a lot of unders, more than I've ever played in MLB this year, and it's been my most profitable year just because I've been taking all these unders because all these dudes just keep hitting unders because they're just not letting them run as far. And, you know, stuff wise, obviously they have good stuff, but, you know, like Gore should not be getting tagged for 10 against the A's.
Yeah.
Just not saying that the A's are bad or anything, but I'm saying like Gore's a good enough pitcher to not be getting blown up like this multiple times in the last month.
Yeah, time for a little phantom IL stint here, I think, for Gore at least. Just give him a break, like you said. Let him get, you know, a little of that wear off those tires. But it's unfortunate. It's kind of one of those things I was kind of hoping they would have traded him. It's hard to say stuff like that because he's our only, like, high-level pitcher. But at the same time, it's like, do you also trust your team's development staff to get him right when he's wrong? It's like, no, I don't. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a weird thing where it almost feels like he's got to figure it out himself here, you know, which is just a tough position to be in. So I hope he can get it turned around. But yeah, I was on the A's yesterday as well. I don't think the Nats should be fucking minus 140 against anybody in baseball right now, even if Mackenzie Gore is on the mound. And obviously they got to him immediately, you know, like literally, I believe first inning is when they kind of blew him up and it started. So another bummer for the Nats, but we'll talk about some more of that a little bit later.
Yeah, let's get to the slate. We have 104 people across both chats here today. Appreciate you guys joining us on your Wednesday morning. Obviously, get your coffee. I don't know if you got one of those, you know, you got a AirPod in one ear, listen to your boss in the other, whatever it takes. We'll try to get you guys some winners here. Moves us to 38 and 33 on the show, 14 and a half units here at Profit, and hopefully we can add today. We have another, like I said, huge slate. Stu, any game you want to kind of talk about here as we have 11:35 to 1:35? We have 6 games? You got 6 games in that early window. Then you obviously have the Blue Jays, the Angels, a lot of those West Coast teams, and then Miami. A lot of those teams, and then 5 late games tonight. So we got 3 split slates, which obviously I love. I enjoy those. Anywhere you want to go to start talk off?
Yeah, I mean, I always try to find out 1 or 2 that I like from the early slate, just so I can have something on, you know, as background. Orioles Phillies has been a pretty good series, but it looks like we've actually got some solid pitching on both sides, especially the Orioles with Rogers being kind of the only guy that's actually, I mean, a little scary coming out of that Orioles, you know, rotation right now. It feels like there've been a lot of fades, you know, even though what's his name, Krispy Kremer did a little bit better last night. Still, you know,
very well.
Yeah, still like, you know, not the scariest rotation in the league. So I'll definitely be tuned into that Orioles Phillies one, but probably won't be the normal, you know, batter prop extravaganza for me. And then I'll probably have some bets on the Guardians Mets early as well. Gavin Williams walks has been really good to me. 2 walks is a parlay piece. I've talked about the Mets walks a couple times. So I'll probably have some bets in that one. So I think those 2 I'll definitely be dual streaming for that early slate today.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued by this Cubs-Reds series right now. The Reds are going for a sweep in Wrigley. Yeah. That is huge. Obviously, the Brewers, shout out to the crew, baby. Got another 2 wins back-to-back over the Braves, so they're spreading this lead out. I think they're up 3.5, 4.5 right now on the Cubs. I'm already getting my seats ready to go to Wrigley on the doubleheader day. I'm going to try and get out there on Monday, so we're going to do an early show that Monday. So I'm trying to get out there, drive down to Wrigley, be that guy in that my Brewer Hawaiian shirt, being out there, being that dude, man. I'm going to be that guy. So you got to rep. You know, you got to rep when you're out there. So, but it's a Monday, so you can't really get after anything because obviously it's the work week. But yeah, I'm intrigued by that matchup. We got Abbott versus Horton. I think Horton has really turned it around lately. I did drop him in fantasy, so obviously that kind of correlated. Right when I dropped him, he started doing way better. But yeah, that one kind of intrigues me there. I'm also really interested in a lot of these Robbie Ray props as well because he's got the Pirates. And I just don't trust Robbie Ray. I don't care. He's coming off of this big one. I feel like all of his numbers are super inflated after an awesome game. And now you face a team like the Pirates who, are not good. But I don't know. Whenever you feel like you can trust Robbie Ray, you just can't, right? So I have a very hard time betting juice on an outs prop. I have a hard time betting the juice over on a 7 strikeout prop when I have to worry about him, walking dudes at the clip that he walks. I mean, his walk right now is 2.5, 130 plus 130 to the over, but that's still like we saw what happened yesterday. I had Logan Webb is the most frustrating pitcher to me because you have to bet strikeouts and outs because one of them's gonna hit and one of them's gonna lose, and you just gotta hope that you guess the right one. So if you bet both, at least you're getting plus money. Because he had 10 strikeouts. Just say, of course, I had the outs, and he goes 110 pitches because he's just striking out every single player.
Yeah.
So I could see that being like it today, where again, kind of have to decide what you want to take with a guy like Robbie Ray because he's kind of a little bit all over the place.
Yeah, 100%. And of course, if I bet on freaking Robbie Ray, he's going to go 7 innings, no walks for the first time.
Yeah, he went a complete shove.
Even against a team like the Pirates now, who don't swing at anything, they're going to miraculously start swinging as well. So, yeah, I thought about those walks, and yeah, I agree. It's one of those you can get kind of any of those outcomes, either really good or really bad,
Yeah, and one other thing that you kind of talked about there with Robbie Ray and the walks and everything there is I think the big thing today is obviously I went to 4 games in 3 days or 3 games in 4 days for the Brewer games. That Marlins team, bro, they're good. They are very scrappy. They're very good at getting deep into counts. If they can give me some Arrighetti outlines, bro, I'm taking unders. I'm looking at all of that because they don't swing. They don't swing unless it's over the plate. And they're taking a ton of walks. Arrighetti's had those issues. I doubt they give me them just because it's his first start back in the big leagues. I really highly doubt that they give me them, but I'm gonna be on the lookout, man. I think that's a guy definitely where I want to look because that Marlins team was just feisty, man. You were not getting 1 or 2 pitch outs at all, and they made Woodruff work. And Woodruff is on another planet than Spencer Arrighetti. So, bringing up my crew there, I got to give my quick shout before we get into our bets. Talked about him on the show about 2 weeks ago, didn't I? Isaac Collins, man. Dude wins Rookie of the Month, NL Rookie of the Month. I'm pissed because I didn't get to bet him to win NL Rookie of the Year in time because all that stuff was starting to juice up, and now it just dropped down $10. He was 16 to 1. Now he's 6 to 1. They win it, and because he won the Rookie of the Month, there's really no standout NL rookies. So pretty much wide open. Miz has thrown 30 innings in his third in the NL. That's crazy. So I just had to give my shot to him because he had another 2 or 3 RBI day. I'm telling you guys, no one's betting this guy. He's just continuing to rake, continuing to get RBIs. He had a triple last night as well. So he's been putting up numbers. I think that's a guy, like I said, if you got hit parlays, boy doesn't walk. It just doesn't walk. So I'm just saying, if you guys have guys like that, his number is still minus 200. This dude's got I'm pretty sure 9 out of his last 10 games with a hit. This guy's raking right now. So just if you guys have a parlay piece that you're looking at, that might not be a bad look.
Yeah, I like it. So a little hit parlay. When he's only minus 200, you can also use the real high-level guys like Trey Turner, the just Arias of the world that are always on base, and it comes to a pretty solid price as well.
Yeah, I think it might actually be lower today because, my crew gets Spencer Strider.
Yeah, probably.
Nice.
Probably 70, 160 range then.
Yep, minus 170 for a guy with 9 out of 10. I'll take that all day. All right, we're up to 139 on Twitter. We got 25 of you guys in here on YouTube. Appreciate you. Let's get to the bets, dude. People are here for some bets. I'll let you start off here with our best bet from you today.
Yeah, sounds good. We called past the prop for a reason here, but I figured I'd mix it up a little bit because, it's something we always talk about on the show. If you are new here, if you are in the Twitter, you're not over in the YouTube, 1, we can't see your questions. If you got them, you got to put them over on YouTube. But number 2, I mean, generally, the betting market, especially in baseball, I think can be slow to catch up to some things. And I think one thing you and me have both kind of been looking at is different teams post-trade deadline and maybe what they currently look like. Yesterday in my Discord, I didn't want to post it because, one, I was kind of rooting for my boy Mackenzie Gore to turn around. But I was like, the Nationals being minus 150, minus 140 against anybody is criminal right now. And you see me, I'm wearing my freaking Nationals Hawaiian shirt. It's laundry day. We're pulling out the classics. I'm there. I'm watching every freaking game. Like I like this team. It's hard to say right now given the recent performances, but it's just actually impossible to me that they could be that much of a favorite, even with their best pitcher on the mound. I kind of figured it would do a full-on flip no matter who is coming up next. I figured minus 150, minus 160 against the Nats would kind of be standard going forward. But no, we still get a reasonable price. We got Jeffrey Springs. We got Nationals calling up Cade Cavalli. Not his first start. He actually made a start in like 2022. He's been a Nats top prospect for years. He's just had a ton of arm injuries. And to me, it looks like they've been waiting for the perfect time. You know what I mean? They've been trying to get like him stretched out, a little bit momentum. But honestly, it really hasn't happened. He hasn't had a particularly great year in AAA this year. And he's had, concerningly, the same problems that he's really had at the beginning of the year, which is walks. I finally saw last start he didn't have any walks. I was like, oh, great. Well, he hit 3 batters, so it kind of evens out a little bit there. The control and getting deep into games has always been the issue for Cavalli. He does have some good strikeout stuff as well. Like I saw his Ks is at 4.5, which does feel a little bit aggressive. It's the only prop line they have out for him right now, but I could see him going over his Ks. If they give me any kind of outs at like 15.5, I would 100% take the under. I really have a hard time if he's struggling to get 5 innings in AAA. I don't think it's going to have as much success at the major league level, which really kind of brings me to my main issue here is if he can't get through 5 innings, if he's going to be juiced, minus 150, minus 170, under 15.5 outs, then I'm really going to take any team to be able to beat the Nationals in that second half of the game. Because once again, I was there, boots on the ground for that Brewers series, bringing in freaking Ryan Lotus, Andy Lara, like these guys. We just got a 29-year-old that was cut from the Tigers the other day and immediately pulled him up. We traded Ahmed Rosario for this guy named Beater, who is a former top prospect, I guess, at one point, and we got him from the Yankees. He just gave up a homer in his first at-bat yesterday. Not only do the Nationals have the highest major league bullpen ERA, they also have the highest AAA bullpen ERA league as well, which means like these guys that they're calling up have been getting rocked in AAA. It's just like a brutal situation that they're in right now. And then when we look at the offense, the one thing that could actually offset this, that would be Washington's path to victory, because they're not winning pitching duels at this point, right? I think the games they are going to win are the ones where the like Mitchell Parkers, the Jake Irvins, the Gores are going to be able to get through like 7. And they just have to pray that the offense has done enough in that time to be able to survive. We don't even know who the Nats closer is. We had the same talk a week ago. The Nationals haven't had a save situation yet. I know it's going to be Jose Ferrer, but for all intents and purposes, we don't even know who their freaking closer is. Like, there's actually no legitimate back-end bullpen members on this team at all, which is kind of funny because even last year when this team was dog shit, they were a bottom of the barrel team, they actually had a pretty respectable like Carl Edwards Jr., Hunter Harvey, Kyle Finnegan, 7-8-9, which was actually pretty good at most times in the year before they traded Harvey and stuff. This year, there's nothing comparable to that because even the guys that they would have brought in, they've since traded away. So I don't have a lot of faith in the pitching staff. When you look at the offense, their 2 best players, CJ Abrams, who was doing okay over the last 15, hitting 209. James Wood over the last 15 is hitting 098, not even 100. I mean, it's been really bad. Like whatever he did to try to win that freaking home run derby where you tinker your swing. It's been brutal. It's ever since. It's been absolutely brutal since the All-Star break. So your 2 best hitters aren't doing anything. They're going up against Springs. I haven't talked much about him. Springs is okay. I mean, he's not great. He gives up bombs. He also pitches in a brutal ballpark to give up bombs now. He's like a bottom I believe, 8th percentile ground ball percentage guy. The fly balls are part of his game. One, the Nationals are the highest ground ball team in the league by like 3-4%. It's not even close. They don't hit homers, right? This is they don't have any power on this team, even outside of guys like Wood and Abrams, who are the only good players. Like, who are you expecting it from? Is it going to be, I guess, Brady House, who they just called up, can hit a double or two? You know what I mean? They've got nothing in the offensive department. So for me, when you got a fly ball guy that can get beat by some hard contact, I just don't see enough hard contact in this Washington lineup to actually beat them. And then we go back to all the pitching concerns we talked about. I think it should be a -150, -145 thing. I think even if Cavalli looks good, he comes up, gets through 4, maybe gives up a run in the 5th, there's no way this guy's going back out for the 6th. Like, I really don't see him getting deep into this game for a plethora of reasons, with his arm injuries in the past, Washington just generally pulling guys kind of early. You want him to have a good first start back in the bigs. Like, I think it's one of those where the bullpen is going to fuck it up, even if he does get off to a good start. So -125, reasonable price. We're going to keep on fading the Nationals while it's viable, because I don't think it will be for long. I think it's going to start just being like -160 every day.
Yeah, dude, I have no idea what's going on with all these dudes, man. That offense is better than what they're showing. But I watched yesterday and just getting absolutely nuked around the ballpark, man. So, I was like, James Wood just looks like don't even want to swing, bro. Like, he's not even want to swing. So, I saw him get on base, had to be hit by pitch, right? So, but yeah, I'm on board. And the thing is like, who are you worried about from the right side? Because Springs has power issues to righties, right? And that's pretty well known. CJ Abrams and James Wood, both from the left side, right? I mean, Low, you can say he has power. His ass got dropped in my fantasy team. God damn, he's horrible. So that's another lefty. Luis Garcia. Hey, if he decides to slap a single, boy's getting picked off anyway. So that's all it's gonna be. So it's just, you can go up and down this lineup, man. The only dude that I'm worried about is the 9-hole hitter fucking catcher, bro. If they're gonna bring in big old Riley Adams to take a damn hack.
Yeah,
that's pretty much the only right-handed guy with pop that I'm worried about here. Because Josh Bell ain't hitting nukes from the right side. I'm telling you that. So.
And I've been a Riley Adams supporter. I've hit a couple of his bombs. He's been brutal this year as well.
Has he?
Yeah. His bat speed is way up, so like it looks like it's gonna come around, but it's been really bad. The one guy, if anyone wants to take a long shot, Dalen Lyle, this outfielder that we called up, he's got some pop in his bat. He's like apparently like the worst defender in the bigs, which is kind of funny, even out in right field. So that's going to hurt him, but he's got some pop and he's actually making some good contact. So he could be like the one sneaky guy if he's like +700 or you get a really good price or something. I haven't checked yet, but I agree. Outside of that, it's literally Josh Bell, which is like, man, if you're dependent on Josh Bell in the year 2025, it's pretty rough for you out here.
We got a couple questions in the chat. We'll get to those, guys. I'm just going to get my play out of here quick, and then we'll get into some questions. I'm unsure if I see Twitter chat stuff in there, so I'll make sure I'll pop over there just to make sure that I'm not missing anything. If you guys are dropping stuff in chat, I just don't know if it shows over here all the time. So I'm going back, dude. I'm the fact I'm getting +125 is absurd to me. I'm going to bet on the Blue Jays one more time. And, do I know that this is going to be a sweaty one? Yep, I do. I know. Because FanDuel is giving me 3.5 +150 to the over, but they're not giving me an under number, which is gross. Like, give me the under so I can take parlays with it too, bro. I want both. I want both options here. I think this Blue Jays team is going to do it. The exact same thing they gave you before, right? Let's just look at numbers on the Blue Jays, and we'll talk Kyle Freeland, right? Blue Jays, obviously, I've talked about them ad nauseum. They have the 5th highest WRC plus in baseball against left-handed pitching with a 110 WRC plus. They're the lowest strikeout rate against lefties with a 17.5% strikeout rate. It's at 17.1 over the last 30 days, and that covers 25 baseball games. That is absurd. Then go down the list. We're using the last 30 days. They're number 1 in batting average by 25 points. They are almost batting 300 as a team over the last month. That is crazy. With an 854 OPS, it goes them, The Athletics kind of ties into yours, and then the Brewers. Those are the top three teams in terms of OPS over the last 30 days. And guess what? All those teams are hot as hell right now, right? They're putting up numbers, and obviously you're on the Athletics too, so that obviously helps your case as well. Going down the list a little bit further, Kyle Freeland at home, right? Obviously, this is a tough spot. At home this year has a 15% K rate. He has a 4.53 xFIP, which is not good. Going down the list, at home, he has a point. Oh God, this is bad. He has a 7% walk rate, 15% K rate. On the road this year, it's 17% and 4%, which is the reason why he's kind of picking around, because he gives up a barrel here, it's gone, right? So double the walk rate. He's got about a 2% lower strikeout rate at home. And I think the biggest reason is because his best pitch is that curveball, right? That curveball is such a big pitch for him. It's a 36% whiff rate pitch. He uses it primarily to righties. And it's been very, very good. But what I will say is those are the pitches that get affected by the elevation more than anything, right? And then you go down the list. Okay, if he can't throw that pitch, what is he using? Well, he's got a four-seamer with a 10% whiff and a cutter with a 19% whiff. Both of those with a 357 on the four-seam, 371 batting average on the cutter, 661 slugging against the cutter with a 763 expected. Then we see a 611 slugging against that four-seamer. So those things are getting absolutely nuked. You go up against a team here that does not strike out. You go up against a team here that is going to probably be rolling, two lefties, maybe? And mind you, those might be the hottest lefties right now in the league. Barshall's got 3 bombs in his last 2 games. And mind you, he might just sit today, right? And they might just play Will Wagner. So you could see 8 right-handers in this lineup. Kyle Freeland, obviously much, much better against lefties than he is against righties. He has an 18% K rate against lefties, 15 against righties, with a 4.38 xFIP against those righties, 3.54 against lefties. So I really have a hard time seeing Freeland get deep in this game, mind you. And now on top of that, you're going up against a team 17% as a team over 30 days is crazy. And being able to have power in there as well is just what makes this Blue Jays team such a hard team to deal with, because Barger goes yard yesterday, Varsho goes yard yesterday, Vladdy goes yard yesterday. Like, put on the list, man. These dudes are just nuking them. So sign me up for Kyle Freeland. I was surprised that Molina went 5 innings yesterday. I think we might see even a shorter start today, because I think they were kind of expecting him to be out a little bit earlier too, but they kind of had to let the guy ride because our boy went 2 2/3 the day before and got shelled. So, all right, we're going to go with the Blue Jays again. Show them why you're my second favorite team in the MLB here, baby.
Yeah, I mean, earlier you said you kind of don't like playing these. I'm like, hey, I'm fired up when you play these. I feel like it's gone incredibly well when we've had, and once again, have no plans in watching the Rockies play baseball in really 90% of circumstances anyway. So I wasn't tuned into this one anyway, so I'm not going to be sweating it. I'll be checking ESPN, and hopefully, after 3.5 innings, it'll be looking great, and maybe not, but like you said, I mean, it's a good matchup. The Blue Jays have been incredibly consistent in this department, and that's why I made Vladdy the gift for the show on Twitter. I want to see him do that little dance. Hit a nice bases clearing double or a nice homer for us, and let's get the job done here. I'm in.
Yeah, I think I don't know how many starts he has in the second half of the season, but it's always funny to me when I look at like lower, sample size numbers. Like Kyle Freeland right now has 3.6 home runs per 9 in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Nice.
trying to find a number over plus 350 on any Blue Jay today. I'd be hard pressed to find somebody there. So let's quick recap. We'll get to questions. 212 of you guys in here checking it out. Appreciate you. Hopefully we'll be able to get you some winners today. Let's get a quick recap.
Sounds good. We got the Athletics money line -125 against my Nationals tonight.
Awesome. And I'll be on Kyle Freeland under 2.5 strikeouts. FanDuel is offering 3.5, but not giving you the under. So if they do offer the under, I will be betting that in some sort of capacity with a parlay there. Again, if you're on Twitter, I am now on the Twitter spot. So if you have questions over there, drop them in there. We'll take the YouTube questions here first because those are what we're seeing. So, any thoughts on Anthony DeSclafani under 15.5 outs today? Stu, you got any thoughts here before I jump in?
I would have to imagine that's juice to the under, right? I mean, he's been coming. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't been pitching very heavily. I wouldn't imagine that they'd press him super deep. So I would lean the under. I don't know. Obviously, the price is important, but if I had to guess, I'll check real quick. I would assume it'd be a little bit juiced right there, personally. But I like the under, and obviously the Padres lineup can be a little bit hit or miss, but that's a really good squad right there. Yeah, I'm seeing 15.5 minus 170 on Caesars, and then 14.5 on other books. So I think 14.5 is probably the proper line, but I would still take the under 15.5 while you can get it. You just got to find a parlay piece.
I will not be betting on props ever again in a Padres game, bro.
Okay.
It's not
this is after Manny Machado.
Yeah. Manny Machado's a fucking bum. So
yeah.
I will not do it. If anything, I take the over because I think Nestor gets his fucking tits lit today. So
just over in the game, you mean? Like the game?
Yeah. Just an over in the game.
Yeah.
No props in any more Padres games for me. Jason, need a sleeper starting pitcher for fantasy? Love these questions. Love these. Do we like this Nick Martinez? I don't think he's a kid, unfortunately. I think he's kind of old. I don't think he's that young.
Yeah, he'd love to hear that, though. I think he'd love that.
Yeah. I think it's for me. I guess it's depending on what you need. Are you looking for this week? Because if we're looking for this week, I wouldn't mind just picking up Dustin May, throw today against Kansas City. Like I think something like that would be a good look. Or if you're looking for next week, throw Michael Wacha. I mean, if Michael Wacha is never getting picked up because the dude doesn't strike out anybody. But Michael Wacha for the Royals, I'm pretty sure has a nice. Let me see. He popped up on one of my things there as well. He's playing Washington in Kansas City next week, so that's another spot. And I know Stu will definitely probably agree with going up against Washington that we just talked about.
Yep. 100%. Yeah, I'm not in the fantasy trenches, obviously, but that sounds very reasonable to me right there. And yeah, Martinez also just once again, I don't know if you need like strikeouts heavily. He's not really going to get you very many strikeouts. Like he's a real contact heavy kind of guy.
Yeah, Dustin May. I think Dustin May might be the best option. I think that would be not going to get you a ton of strikeouts, but like I played Brian Bayo this week, who never usually makes my starting lineup against the Royals. He doesn't get a bunch of Ks. I think he went 5 through 6 innings, and I was very, very happy with that. So got very high win equity too today, facing off against who the hell's going for Kansas City. I was just looking at this game too. It is Wacha. It's Wacha. Oh yeah. So don't pick up Wacha for today. Pick him up after today, after he gets lit up by the Red Sox there. So. Definitely think that would be the best option there. Phillies, Orioles, first 5 under 4.5. Stu, I know you mentioned this game. Any thoughts there? You liking that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to mess with the Phillies lineup in general in most cases, but I mean, this is the best, like we talked about earlier, kind of pitching matchup the Orioles are going to have. I would lean the under. I mean, I'm curious what the odds would be on that once again. If
minus 166 on DraftKings for that.
There we go. I mean, yeah, that's probably why it seems good. You know, it's like, yeah. I'd like it at minus 110, at minus 115, but I don't know about, the heavier juice there personally. But yeah,
over 3.5 is minus 135. So it's kind of in that middle spot where you're kind of both kind of stuck.
Yeah. Lean under, but no bet for me at those odds personally.
Are there any pitchers to not win props? Yeah, Kyle Freeland. That's
going to be
rough. 450. I don't know how good of a price you have on other stuff, but minus 450 is definitely something I will definitely do. Any thoughts on Flaherty over 6.5 strikeouts at plus 100? I believe that's an early game against the Twins.
Yeah, man, Flaherty. Talk about guys on your kind of like band list, like. Flaherty, he's kind of inconsistent. I don't know. I would lean over. Twins lineup is obviously, pretty fucking rough right now. So, and Flaherty can get, when Flaherty's on, he does get deep into games as well, which is what you like to see for some of these higher numbers. But man, 6.5 is a hard number for me to get to in general, to be honest. So if for Flaherty's of the world, I would lean over, but yeah, it's not my thing. Also, how did you get into the X chat? I kept trying to check. I couldn't even get in the chat.
Yeah, you have to go into live chat. So I actually just put that into the live chat over on Twitter there quick.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, I don't expect us to go longer than 5 more minutes. So obviously get those in now. This week May's available. Soroka 2 week. I know it's MLB show, but can't wait for football tomorrow.
I got a preseason prop right now if anyone wants to hear it too. I got Hendon.
Isn't it Friday?
No, Thursday. It's going tomorrow. There's Thursday and Friday games. But I got Hendon Hooker. I don't know what the exact, it's like 87.5 passing yards over. Obviously I watched Hooker in college a decent amount, kind of a runner first, but also had not first, actually, that's harsh, but he's got some rushing game in him. But deep ball, that's what he needs. And Dan Campbell, in his quotes about him the other day, was saying he's going to let him get all the opportunities in the world. And we know Dan Campbell is not like a Coach Speak lying guy. He loves his guys. He's riding for him. And we don't need to see like Brendan Allen, whatever that guy's name is, the Cincy backup forward. We don't need to see it. We know he's solid. You know what I mean? So I think Hooker does play a lot. I don't know where you can get any of these on legals. I was just playing it on like Prize Picks and those kind of stupid apps like that. But you brought it up, so I didn't shoehorn this in there. It was a chat question. I do like Hooker. I see 87.5 passing yards over, and even I see 14.5 rush yards over. I would probably play that as well because I did misspeak. He was not a primary rusher in college at all, but he can run a little bit.
Yeah, I'll be at the preseason game on Saturday.
Okay, boots on the ground. Let's go.
Yeah, so I will be. It's for a bachelor party, so we're doing a bachelor party thing where that's like the last thing before going to. I think they want to go to a casino after. I'm like, I do not want to go play. I don't want to go play. Like by the time we get there, there ain't gonna be no games on. I don't play table games, bro. I can't.
Hey, hit the roulette. All on black.
Oh my god, yeah. No, I'm not I don't know, man. I can never do anything else. If I'm not putting out a sport, then I'm not betting. I control nothing. I don't like that.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm with you on that, actually. I'm with you on that. But hey, give us the Matthew Golden reports. That's what we need to hear.
I just keep seeing all these videos from preseason practice where he's just cooking everybody. I know he cooked Nixon in all one-on-one drills. I'm like, well, no shit. Keyshawn Nixon is literally damn near just a freaking returner. He's an all-pro returner, dude. Yeah. So I don't expect him to be like if he's a starting corner for us, we're fine. So that's
I was drafting a decent amount of Golden, but the price is kind of shit now. But I feel like a lot of sharp guys don't like Golden, and I think that's kind of a mistake, honestly. When you look at the opportunity on that team, and the other guy that's free at the end of drafts, Romeo Dobbs. He's free once again.
Yep, I've got.
Just gotta keep clicking it. When he's that free, you just gotta keep clicking it, especially if you need depth. When I need a receiver late. In best ball, I'm going Dobbs, and I'm going also my guy in DC, Noah Brown, who is literally going to be the wide receiver 1 if Terry McLaurin doesn't suit up week 1, and he's literally a free pick in the last round as well. So I like both those guys for depth. And Dobbs he's still there. People are kind of acting like he's gone from the equation, but I think he's going to keep doing his thing.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out our time when we're doing our best ball show, when we do our live draft on the show, probably in a couple weeks, I'd assume. So just make sure you pay attention. Obviously, we'll have it either here or on X. Both spots will have, obviously, the information that we're dropping there. So hopefully everything will go well here. I think everything should be good for Friday. I'm ready to go for another slate here. Obviously, today it is a little different, right? It's our early show, but all you from Twitter, we'll probably just continue to do this because, obviously, we appreciate you guys joining us and hopefully tailing as well. So have a good one, guys. Best of luck on all your bets today. If you have any other questions, we have all day to answer them. So if you have any questions for the late night games, drop them in the chat, and we should be ready to go for you guys. So have a good one. Best of luck, and we will catch you guys on Friday for another round live passive draft.